how did Wildjoy start? Where did the idea come from? Like, obviously I know some of the story, but I'd love to hear, like, I was, even when you were first starting out, I was watching from a distance, right? I was working on my thing and you were working on yours, and I was competing against you. So tell me the story from your perspective.
So Wildjoy started as basically like a school project, I would say in the best terms. I went into August of my senior year, so that was 2018, with the mindset of like it kind of actually goes back into high school. Like I'd always wanted to go to U of A because of this entrepreneurship program. So I was always very dead set on like really taking it serious and stuff. So I went to the program in August with the mindset of building like a really good team that we could come up with something together. So I had 4 awesome teammates, Hannah, Yaya, Ishan, and Spencer. And it was so incredible working with them. Like, truly, to be honest, it was awesome. We had so many good times, and we really, really started investigating, like, the idea, like, how can we solve the problem of people being so unhappy? Now, obviously, none of us on the team were medical students, anything like that, but we were all people that had lived through mental health struggles, and we wanted to help people feel better. So took a lot of, like, meetings and deviations between different business ideas and stuff, but eventually, like, we had come up with this like idea of like an event space, kind of like Groupon, basically, just for like overall all events or whatever. And so like that was interesting, but it was like already done and stuff, so there wasn't really any uniqueness that would really drive that. And then I kind of like really started researching, like, okay, none of this stuff I actually like to do because I am the adventure lover. Like all the basic stuff is already out there. Like there wasn't a space for stuff I actually really loved. So then I kind of pitched like deviating from the idea of just overall like events and stuff of this like Wander Hub event thing to like, let's do unique, like local hosted ideas basically and stuff. So we kind of like started growing that by basically like probably second semester of school. So it took half a year basically of like researching and going from so many different ideas. So Denver definitely did not come quickly, and it was definitely not obvious from the very beginning. And then I started like really like, I really wanted to take this. Like I really wanted to be able to call the full-time offer and stuff I had and say like, sorry, I can't come work for you. Like I want to do Wildjoy. It was not Wildjoy at the time. So like my heart was fully in it. Like I remember at there was like some pitch competition, Rubber Max. I feel like we never won anything. It was so annoying. We were just so
You never did either.
Oh, it was so annoying. It was so competitive. I wanted to win so bad, but we never won, which it's okay. But I really realized we created this like immersive experience at this like there was this big pitch whatever thing, and it was like people throwing like splatter paints and stuff. And it really just like started coming to me, like it wasn't even about like the actual they were doing. It's just about acting like a wild and free and like a child kind of again, with like splattering paints thing in places and stuff, and like just doing stuff because it's fun and stuff. So I went to Disneyland and stuff after that. I thought of this like song I used to like called Jubal by Klangze, put it on my phone or whatever. And this time I was really trying to find a name for Wildjoy, like really hard. Wander Hub was the thing we were currently on. When you're starting a business, you have to think of domains that are available for purchase. You can't just take a name that's already given or you're wasting your time. So really debating like what the name could be, but I really wanted to capture the essence of what it meant to be wild and free. So for me, Jubal in German means joy. And I just finished up an internship that past summer at Siemens, working like as an accounting intern. And so I don't know, German just seemed to be like a second language to me at that moment and stuff. So to have an idea, like to have a song that was so deeply connected to when I was coming out of my own personal health, like depression period, to be able to like bring that to my business. So like Wildjoy, put it together. The domain was on sale for like $4,500. Like it was so much money at the time. Like I was like, no way, but okay, at least it's up for sale. So then we just like I really just started working like seriously from March until the end of the year. And I called my full-time offer in March, said like, there was a lot of other like personal things going on at the time, but like I couldn't move to Texas. I was going to start Wildjoy. And 2 of my teammates had awesome offers and stuff. So they decided to immediately like go do that and stuff. And Hannah and Yaya like technically like launched Wildjoy with me in the very beginning, but they both got awesome jobs too at like I was working at Microsoft, and Hannah's at, I think it's Shavaz. I don't want to say that wrong, but it's this awesome fashion label. It's literally all of my team from this past year, like literally they are all finding their Wildjoy, essentially doing what they love to do. And I decided to go.
I was actually with 2 of them on Sunday.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you know you're good. They doing good?
Yeah, they're doing good. They're awesome. I saw Spencer and Ishan.
Oh, awesome. That makes me happy. I love to
Yep.
hear everyone's happy and safe right now, especially in this time of such like craziness. So
absolutely. I totally cut off your momentum there. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But basically, Wildjoy from that point, I didn't have a lot of money. Like I didn't have an investment. I didn't have all the investor stuff that I learned in the program and stuff you really needed to like launch a company. All I had was the knowledge that like I could go move to Scottsdale, do what Mark Cuban said, and get like a bartender serving job, and then work my butt off, and then at nights work the serving job, and then eventually when the idea was in my head was like, well, eventually when Wildjoy takes off, I'm able to like quit the serving job, which is what happened. It just took like a year and about a month to get there. It was like all my money. I lived like so frugally. It taught me a lot of discipline, and it taught me a lot of like the hunger it feels to really want something more than anything. And I didn't be faced with the reality of having to monetize Wildjoy. Like I was focused so much until probably March on just building the audience and building all this momentum to have the proof to go to an investor or something to say like, hey, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people that identify with the problem I'm solving with my business. Like this is, I didn't have a team at this point. I had just invested in like the most awesome creative like direction with Logan and Jocelyn, who are my designers now on our team. But I had basically seen like the need for our brand needed to improve. Like our logo that I had designed was awful. I am not like the most skilled ever. And part of realizing that Wildjoy had to be bigger than myself, and I had to seek help. So like during the point when I was realizing I needed to monetize it, I hired Logan and Jocelyn to remake the Wildjoy logo and the entire brand aesthetic. And it changed everything. So in March, lost my serving job. The pandemic hit. Holy crap. Like literally I was hiring my developer still at this point, part-time. I literally don't think I got anything out of him, to be honest with you, that I was actually able to tangibly work with to make money off of. So and all my credit cards were maxed at this point because it was the middle of the pandemic. I had lost my job. It was like April. I had no choice but to make money in Wildjoy. It was scary. It was scary. Well, I found my courage. And I was literally listening to this.
Wait a second. You found your courage after you maxed out your credit cards?
Like the process of getting to where I had to say to my developer and stuff, like I had to have him stop working on what, like I had to it was basically a moment of like a turning point of like me evaluating that everything I had done in the past was not working. And instead of having to try to keep this like horse going that wasn't actually working, to literally just like cut ties, say all the money that I just wasted basically on all of this doesn't matter anymore. I have to find a way to pay off this credit card stuff and to get myself out of this like literally black hole that I'm gonna like my business will go down. So one, launched Wildjoy Store, which is an apparel line, and I did it with Logan and Jocelyn, our designers. So that was one way I got us out of that. Two, Wildjoy's videos bring thousands and thousands of people to every single business we plug and talk about and we show. That is worth a lot. So I had been struggling to get past the idea of that in the middle of the pandemic, I'm trying to ask business owners for money. To me, it felt so selfish. It felt like, but I had no choice. I was running out of money. I had nothing. So basically, Tempe Tourism, which is an organization in Tempe, they are like I think they're a government organization. They found me on TikTok, and I pitched them for like a big dollar amount in my head at that point. And they said yes. And it was like a breath of freaking fresh air had emerged. Like I realized I had something and stuff. So I did an eight video campaign for them, and basically showing like what there is to do in Tempe with hidden gems and stuff to get people to go to Tempe and spend money, because people were at this point scared at home doing that. And I needed to show people could go find their Wildjoy in Tempe. mission accomplished. I thought we were going to hit 300,000 views for like the campaign. We crushed it. We almost hit 1 million.
Jeez.
So I really started feeling then like, holy crap, this isn't a hobby anymore. This isn't a black hole and stuff. So I like in that combination and stuff. So I didn't have any unemployment because they got all stalled up and stuff. So literally I was just all in. I went so hard, and I got my serving job back probably 6 weeks later because business had started up again and stuff, a little bit at least. So I worked another 6 weeks at the serving job to like be able to get my feet back on. Oh yeah, I forgot one little piece. When I lost my serving job, I went and got a job at this coffee shop right next to my house. Okay. At the coffee shop job, people that were going through knew who I was from Wildjoy.
That's wild. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, that's the craziest part. I realized then that the community that I just thought were just numbers, no. They were very real people that were coming through and asking me for photos. They were FaceTiming their relatives, their friends, their family, people that knew who I was. They showed me their memories, and they were like, "Thank you so much for helping me have stuff to do with my boyfriend. All of this date we just had was the most incredible first date, and I would never have done that without you." Like that stuff brought me to my knees in just pure thankfulness and gratitude, and it empowered me that when I went back to that serving job and stuff, I knew what I had. So it was a matter of time. So all I needed to do was get more deals. So I did.
So was the pivot like when I think back to like where it was back when we were in school, it was like your idea was that people would pay these guides to like take them on these like adventures around whatever. It almost feels like you became the guide and the adventure was free and you would just show them on TikTok what to do instead. And is that am I understanding correctly what happened?
You're totally understanding the pivot. The pivot at the beginning was because I didn't have the technology to actually have a booking platform. It was like the idea was still valid, and it's gonna like Wildjoy will be basically what the first version was. It will be in the future. It's just like I had to get the team together and the money together and the audience together before I was able to do it. So it was kind of like I was putting the horse before the whatever like the saying is. I was doing the wrong way first.